Hey guys, welcome back to Gaming with me, and today is a special day. Hello Neighbor 2, the Unused episode 2. So episode 2 is about characters. So first off, we'll get started with the guest. Now, the guest was in a cutscene at the beginning of Neighbor 2 for like a couple of seconds. And he is going to be re-added. Well, it was confirmed by TinyBuild that he will be re-added. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm just going to play it in the background. The farmer was another one of those characters who never made it to the final project of Hello Neighbor 2. I suspect that he was going to be at the barn, because that's like the only place where I would think he was going to be. Maybe they'll add him in the future. It was on the requested list in the devlog episode 3. And basically, I think next I will talk about Officer Leslie. Now, lots of people think he's going to be returning as well. It would make sense if he is returning, but yeah, loads of people just think he's returning, and to be honest, I think he's returning as well. It makes sense to see him return. So yeah, those are 3 of the characters. There are still a couple of more characters. We are going to start our next one off with Officer Leslie. No, not Officer Leslie, I mean the Vandals. In a game that used to be Hello Neighbor 2, I'll get into that in a later episode, called Hello Guest. There were these Vandals where you basically had to just try and stop them from vandalizing the amusement park. I bet most of you already know the Vandals. Probably, you might not. So that's why I'm explaining. But yeah. Also, there were the Man in the Hat was another unused character. We think that he will be re-added to the game once the content update happens, since like he was always in the alphas and like Hello Guest and stuff. He was always just hiding in the background, just watching the player. Who knows? He might even be in the full game and no one has noticed. Imagine that. He might be though. He might be though. That could be true. So now that we covered 5 of the characters, oh god, my eye. I'm going to count this as a different character, even though it's technically the guest and the neighbor. But basically, in Hello Guest, the guest, you saw the neighbor with the guest clothes on, just without the mask of the guest, and we know that the neighbor is the guest. This was confirmed in the book. They haven't changed anything yet, but we know that the guest is the neighbor. Some YouTubers thought that he isn't, because we saw them at like, I guess like only a seconds after each other in very different places. But this was because he can kind of, like the neighbor, when he turns into a guest, and like change places, and like he doesn't actually have to get the costume on, it just like sort of comes on him, kind of like Venom or something. But yeah, that's pretty cool, I think. Beatrix was an unused character. She was a playable character in Hello Guest, and we were thinking, and she was going to be a playable character in Hello Neighbor 2 full game. We know this because in the alphas, Hello Neighbor 2, well, I'm guessing that she was a playable character in Hello Neighbor 2 Alpha 2, but it said Quentin, meaning that maybe there might have been another playable character, and that other playable character is probably Beatrix. It might not be, I'm guessing that it was Beatrix. Also, in the Hello Neighbor 2 beta, if you summon Beatrix in the files, like from the files, it would say Beatrix player. And also, you could play as Beatrix in Hello Guest Alpha 1, which we know was going to be Hello Neighbor 2. It was Hello Neighbor 2 before they completely changed it. To be honest, I would prefer Hello Neighbor Neighbor 2 to be a Hello Guest. Like, I wish that when I turned on Neighbor 2, it wasn't the full game of Hello Neighbor 2, it was Hello Guest. Like, I know that some people say that they like the full game, they would think that they like the full game better than Hello Guest. But in my opinion, Hello Guest was really creepy and I loved it. I guess we can say this is an unused character. The Forest Protectors. Now, we know that they will be added because of the cutscene that they showed us, layout version 2 and a couple of numbers or whatever it was. They showed us that, basically showing the Forest Protectors dragging Quentin. I'm guessing that is the beginning of, I guess, Chapter 2 of Hello Neighbor 2. That's what everyone is calling it. Even though technically there isn't Chapter 2, and that's the Bakery Chapter 2. But I guess we call that Act 2, and then Chapter 2 will have Acts. I don't know, but the Forest Protectors, I guess we could kind of say it's an unused character. Oh, and I almost forgot the 3 missing children for Alpha 1.5. Yes, so the 3 missing children were in Alpha 1.5. I'm guessing that one of them, I'm guessing that the Crow Boy was Aaron, might not be. But I think it might have been. I'm not sure. I think that the girl one might have actually been the baker. Now, I know you're thinking, the baker? What do you mean? Well, it said in the newspaper on the Secret Hello Neighbor website, which unfortunately I can't give a link to, but if you want to know the code, it's hatchling. Okay, I'm not sure, but it basically it said on the website that Gerda, the baker, was one of the missing children, which I was actually quite shocked about. So I guess if maybe in Chapter 2 something we could talk to the baker and tell, and then we could ask her what was it like when you were missing? Even though and if it is the baker that was kidnapped by the guest, we will know what it was like when she was missing. I wonder if there's any more unused characters. I'm pretty sure that Ike was going to be actually a playable character, Ike. But then I guess they sort of changed the Hello Neighbor story a bit. When they would go through the Hello Guest, Hello Neighbor 2 sort of thing. Because we know that it was Ike that we were going to play as, because I think you were going to play as Ike in Hello Guest, then they changed it to Quentin. But anyway, that's it for Hello Neighbor 2, the Unused, episode 2. Goodbye.